Good afternoon and welcome to the Los Angeles Times Business to Business Publishing CEO and CFO Leadership Awards event presented by Finexa. I'm Anna Magzanian, Chief of Staff to Dr. Patrick Soon-Shiong and Head of Strategy and Revenue for the Los Angeles Times. I am delighted to welcome you as we honor the accomplishments of outstanding CEOs and CFOs from Southern California. Your dedication to excellence as you face unprecedented challenges related to COVID-19 pandemic is an inspiration. You are proof of the value of decisive leadership and above all, hard work. You reinvented your business operations and pivoted to a work from home virtual world. You kept your businesses viable and you thrived. Today, we pay tribute to all the adaptability and your talent for creating high-performance cultures. This awards program, of course, would not be possible without the support of our sponsors, starting with our title sponsor, Finexa, and our platinum sponsors, GHJ and Intrepid Investment Bankers. Thanks to each of these organizations for your continued support. We're proud to have representatives from these organizations with us today, starting with Lilith Davitian. She is the Finexa's Executive Vice President and CFO who shapes the all-in-one marketing platform for calls, leads, clicks, and emails while overseeing the company's business development, strategic growth, client relationships, and operational transformation and financial health. Davitian is a member of the Forbes Finance Council and chief a private network designed for women leaders. SATPAL NAGPAL CPA is GHJ's audit and assurance practice leader and has more than 20 years experience of public accounting experience providing audit, accounting, and general practice consulting services. His industry experience includes nonprofit organizations and private companies, including waste management and recycling, manufacturing, distribution, real estate, and entertainment. SATPAL is passionate about the education sector and serves on the board of Synergy Academies and has lectured at the Royden Volunteer Leadership Development Program on a nonprofit financial management course. Additionally, in 2020 and 2021, SATPAL was named a most influential minority CPA, and in 2020, a top 40 in 40s by the Los Angeles Business Journal. And finally, Ed Bagdasarian is CEO of Intrepid Investment Bankers. Ed's career spans more than 3 decades. His career accomplishments include building 2 prominent middle market M&As, advisory firms, overseeing their sale to 2 largest financial institutions in the world, and advising some of the leading entrepreneurs and middle market companies in defining M&A and capital transactions. Ed is currently the CEO and founding principal of Intrepid Investment Bankers, an investment bank providing M&A, capital raising, and strategic advisory services to entrepreneurs and middle market companies. He's responsible for setting and executing the firm's vision. His priorities include creating a winning culture and recruiting top talent to embrace the firm's values. In addition to leading the firm, Ed manages client relationships and oversees the execution of key advisory mandates. Now I'd like to recognize all of our outstanding nominees, starting with the exceptional CEOs. Huria Abbasi, Associated Students of UCLA, Nicholas Adams, Ninico Communications, Deanne Ackerson, Kindred Braverly, Bill Allen, LA EDC, Rachel Ayotte, Bread and Butter, Ed Bagdasarian, Intrepid Investment Bankers, Nandita Bakshi from Bank of the West, Reynolds C. Bish from Kofax, Teresa Campbell from the San Diego County Credit Union, Anthony Chow from NEWEGG Commerce Incorporated, Kelly Coffey, City National Bank, Roderick David, Thunder Studios, Amanda Davis, Hudson Davis Communications, Castulo de la Rocha, Ultimate Health Services, Mark Delt, Impact Wealth Management, Samantha Edis from Park Place Payments, Michael Flood, Los Angeles Regional Food Bank, David Gasparian from Finexa, Nuri Gomez, Accounting Breeze, Donald Goodman from Donley Farms, Jessica Hawthorne-CASTRO from Hawthorne Advertising, Brad Hively from Oncology Institute of Hope and Innovation, Evan Horowitz, Movers and Shakers, Tony Ko from Bespoke Beauty Brands, Bonita Bonnie Lee from Hanmi Financial Corp, Wayne Lee Power Tech, Howard Marks, Start Engine, Deborah Martzeller from Project Independence, Ashley Morrill from Lunya, David Motasetti from Evolus Incorporated, Thomas Moan from One Legacy, Jason Nazar Comparably, Lev Peker from CarParts.com, Paul Rahimian from Parkview Financial, Prem Reddy from Prime Healthcare, Daniel Rosen from Credit Repair Cloud, Martin Rovitsky from Boardsea, Rigo Saborio from St. Barnabas Senior Services, Trevor Saliba, NMS Consulting, Greg Seepley from Union Bank, Stephen Squirry from American Express, Shant Vartanian from the M Theory Consulting Group, Faye Washington from YWCA Greater Los Angeles, Robert Westfall from Solitube International and Solitube Home Franchising. And now our remarkable CFOs. Mo Abufaris from the California University of Science and Medicine, Belva Anak Wenzi, Abacus Financial Business Management, James Baca, Roland USA, Sue Collins, Beachbody, Daryl Cross, Mar Vista Entertainment, Tim Cruikshank, ImpediMed, Jackie Davis from 24-Hour Home Care, Lilith Davidian from Finexa, Christian Daher from Vertical Entertainment, Felicia Della Fortuna, BuzzFeed, Colin Donahue, California State University, Northridge, Matt Dune from Earth Island, Karen Flores from GAN, Mamie Funahashi from Community Partners, Damian Gansman from CityView, Giles Harrison, Farmers Insurance, Gary Shu from Grindr, Zishan Hyder from Papa and Barkley, Jiang Li, Upround Partners Incorporated, Larry Madden from Viant, David Menyon from CarParts.com, Janet Moss from Hollywood Bed and Springs MFG, Lena O'Connor, Tender Greens, Tariq Rahmani from City of Carson, Sridal Ramasubu from Brilio, Barty Sitar from Barnstorm, Viral Chef from Cosbar, Lauren Silvernail from Avolis, Suzanne Stell from LA EDC, Olivia Tyroo from Quixote Studios, Judd Turnauer from California Pizza Kitchen, Bill Tomasoff from Harvest Landscape Enterprises, Mary Tornstein from Financial Partners, Kevin Torosian from 3PL Central, Yannick Turgeon from Scalefast, Neil Varghese from Crooked Media, Darren Walters, Brooke Williams, Day Spa, Jonathan Weiss from Raw Sugar Living. Congratulations again to all of our nominees. Before we begin our awards ceremony, we have a panel of C-suite leaders who will offer their thoughts on some of the most pressing challenges facing companies now, from talent retention to dealing with supply chain delays and planning a post-pandemic future. Our moderator today is ANANT Patel, partner and transaction advisory service practice leader at GHJ. Patel has more than 25 years experience in the public accounting and is a member of the GHJ Executive Committee. He advises in the area of mergers and acquisition and provides financial due diligence consulting such as quality of earnings, working capital analysis, EBITDA analysis, and projections, and deal structure. Joining ANANT on the panel is TRACY Holland, a leading innovator in the beauty and wellness industry. As a co-founder and CEO of Hatch Beauty brand, she has built an international reputation as a curator of successful brands with a focus on new brand development for retailers worldwide. TRACY is the founder of Potential to Powerhouse, a profound supporter of female entrepreneurs. The platform's goal is to serve women entrepreneurs on their path to becoming a superstar with ease and meaningful connection. Also joining the panel today is Sarah Richardson MEHLER, a founder and CEO of Left Field Labs, a creative technology company dedicated to elevating the human experience. She founded LFL in 2008 with a vision to help companies make a positive impact. Her mission is to leverage creative technology to benefit of humanity while inventing solutions with purpose. Sarah has helped launch hundreds of globally recognized digital products and experiences for Google, Uber, Estee Lauder, Disney, and Harvard, and many others. Also joining the panel is Ed Bagdasarian from Intrepid Investment Bankers. Now I'll be turning it over to ANANT to start the panel. ANANT?
Thank you, Anna. Appreciate the warm welcome, and I'm delighted to be joined with Sarah, TRACY, and Ed. So welcome. Let's get going, I guess. Somebody actually told me, and it actually resonated with me, I think we're all done with the pandemic, but the pandemic is not done with us, right? And it's been a challenging year that's continuing. And one of the reflection points I have is that it's been challenging, obviously, for businesses, but for us humans, right? And as all businesses have talent people, it's been a very challenging time in terms of how we've gone through how we work and so forth. So maybe, Sarah, if I can throw the first question to you in terms of the dislocation of how we work, how people are working remotely and so forth, and how are you dealing with the retention, mentoring, and how do you foster the culture within your organization, within talent?
Yeah, well, like so many other companies, we've also moved to a remote first work configuration, probably forevermore. And while it does come with some challenges, in many ways, our culture has actually grown and benefited. And I attribute it to a continued focus on building deeper connections with one another and really getting inventive with how we do so. And part of this is about nurturing community, where we encourage the staff to actually come up with their own initiatives, staff-led events and groups that really engage around non-work topics. Some of those, that might replace the traditional water cooler discussions that we benefited from in a shared space. These are online forms of bonding and really forming deep connections with one another. So things like book clubs, things like coffee buddies that we instituted that pairs people up randomly, weekly for coffee chats. Meditation series. We're really looking at morale boosting cultural initiatives, but that are staff endorsed and fostered. And this is really key because I think that we all have a shared responsibility to develop and create the culture that we want to live in and to work in.
So you just explained, Sarah, that we can be innovative and we can pivot and still foster that relationships that we have. Ed, let me throw a question to you. Obviously, you're not selling a product or a service, but your role in terms of being high touch with your clients and how you operate, how has that affected you in terms of the morale within your people and how you connect with your clients?
Well, that's a good question, Anand. Listen, I mean, we did some of the things that Sarah mentioned, like the happy hour and some of the other engagement activities. But I really think, Anand, that retention and morale are something that you do every day. It's how you treat people, how you care about them every day. It's about the culture you create. When my partners and I started our business, we were not professional managers. We did not know much about HR. We just wanted to create a situation, an environment that we would be happy to work in. So our culture, really, we built a culture that fosters strong bonds throughout the entire firm. So we have extremely low turnover at Intrepid, which is kind of rare in our industry. We see some others neglect their employees and then try to retain them by doing one-time extraordinary acts of kindness, like forced day off or a one-time bonus. I think that does not address the root problem. So one of the ways in which we create cohesion in the firm, we give all of our bankers a lot of buy-in as to who we bring on. Before we hire senior bankers, we have our junior bankers interview them, and if they don't like them, we don't hire them. For example, we hold regular meetings where we listen to employee concerns. Do you remember Tuesdays with Maury? We have Fridays with a teammate, where one senior banker just has a fireside chat with whoever else wants to show up online. And really, it's the older tribesmen teaching the younger tribesmen through storytelling. So simply, ANANT, we promote caring for our teammates every day. This way, the retention is not about offering that extra dollar. It's about offering a family environment that cares. It's really easy to leave a company, but it's much harder to leave a family. That's how we address it.
Well said, Ed. Well said. Tracy, I'm going to throw the same question to you and reflect on life, quite frankly, and the mobility of employees having the ability and choices and so forth has been more than ever before. Has that affected your business, Tracy? And maybe again, answering the question in terms of what are you doing to ensure that connectivity, the retention, and culture within the organization?
Yeah, I think as an entrepreneur, we all had to pivot really quickly in 2020. I mean, I'm talking like 4 to 6 weeks. Certainly, I have 3 kids at home. And so getting the kids on Zoom and figuring out how to manage school and then how to move 65 plus employees into an at-home work environment where there was a cohesion and a sense of connection and family and purpose with all the tools and responsibilities needed to get everyone to work seamlessly was certainly one of the biggest challenges, I think, for entrepreneurs and founders. And certainly everything that Ed's describing and Sarah's describing, we've thought carefully about how we integrate the staff's perspective into daily connection with one another. And certainly the impetus to starting Potential to Powerhouse for me was the opportunity to reach a lot of female entrepreneurs who are all of us, many of whom struggling with a lot of the same thing. Not only how do we lead our company, but then how do we connect to our family? How do we keep our kids on Zoom? How do we raise working capital? What happens when retailers don't want to buy our products because they're pivoting to COVID-related product? What do we do with a port? All of those things were something that we navigated, and Potential to Powerhouse was really the impetus for that, was this connectivity amongst women to support each other and the effort of doing all these things at the same time, which just one of those things is monumental. So to be able to do that across the board, I think every one of us has to give each other a congratulations for having made it through 2020, because that is probably one of the most extraordinary circumstances we could have had.
Absolutely. Do you see that the way that folks work at your organization will change? Will it be a hybrid? How do you see things evolving, Tracy?
We've surveyed our staff, and many of whom have asked for flex work time. We have a higher level, I think, of sensitivity around how do we incorporate an East Coast and West Coast office, which we've maintained for a couple of years now. And how do we integrate our team on a national basis when we're working out of 2 bi-coastal offices. So now that we have so many people working from home at the same time and opting to ask for flexibility, keeping surveys and connectivity with our employees in terms of hearing their feedback has been a really important part of how we think about the strategy of moving forward. And I think as CEOs of companies and founders of companies, we have to recognize that the world literally shifted last year into this from work at home or flex work lifestyle. And I don't think it's going to be a thing that we revert back to prior to 2020 anytime soon. So figuring out how to embrace that and incorporate things that touch the hearts of our employees and keep them motivated and focused and communicating seamlessly while meeting our KPIs has been part of our objective, and I think is going to be a constant learning from each other as to how we can incorporate better practices.
Sure, sure. We're going to pivot slightly, and obviously this is a topic we can spend a lot of time, but as we've seen, many different sectors have been truly challenged and still in that challenging mode. We as a firm actually coined the phrase to help us to find ways that we can help our clients. And we actually had 3 phases: respond, recover, and rebuild, in the way that we looked at our clients. But Ed, let me throw this question to you. With disruption and chaos, there's a lot of opportunities there as well. And you're in front of entrepreneurs all the time. Maybe through a couple of examples, companies that really took this, the eye of the storm, and took an advantage to grow and realize value for their people, their businesses, and so forth.
Sure. So really, COVID forced companies to change how they did things. And some of them saw a great opportunity to expand through the chaos, as you mentioned, and they went on an aggressive acquisition strategy. The larger the company, in fact, there was a report that just came out that indicated that large companies gained share during COVID compared to smaller companies. That's because they had the resources to retool their models and develop digital capabilities. So we saw some companies go on the offense, acquire smaller competitors. We helped many clients team up with institutional capital to embark on a buy and build strategy. And why is that important? That's because everything equal, a larger company is valued at a higher exit multiple than a smaller company. So scale does matter in M&A. So that's what some of the smart players did during COVID. We also saw many companies build their digital delivery capabilities. And frankly, some were simply in the right place at the right time. The shift to a home office environment created massive demand for products and services. So some of the sectors that we saw flourish were companies in categories like HVAC, household appliances, computer peripherals, productivity software, all types of direct-to-consumer products and services, and food and beverage, personal care and beauty, logistics, telemedicine, all saw a surge in demand. Many of these companies got better fast selling online, and others trimmed their workforce and learned that they could do more with fewer people, frankly. And finally, many companies registered record results on ANANT, which was a little counterintuitive. But they took advantage of those results to explore a sale of their business, because buyers and sellers were just getting very engaged, and buyers were paying record prices. This led to an all-time record year for mergers and acquisitions last year, and for the industry, and as well as for our firm.
So I'm privileged to be in front of 3 amazing, successful CEOs. Now, Tracy, you were not kicking your heels back in the last 12 months. I hear that you had significant growth opportunities, and you took advantage of that. Maybe talk a bit about that and how you took this disruption as an opportunity to grow your business.
Well, at Hatch Beauty Brands, we had a really important pivot, which happened in early to late February, away from many of the products and categories that we were going to launch, and then moved into products that were supportive of what the retailer and the consumer were asking for around hand sanitizing, hand soap, cleanse and condition, and then, of course, our ingestible business around wellness and health. So that was certainly an opportunity for us to do what I think Hatch Beauty does best with the team that they have there, and that is to pivot according to what the consumer and the retailer needs are. I would say that the growth opportunity there was the consistent connectivity to the consumer and asking them what is it that they need, and being able to respond rapidly to that. And after being in business now at Hatch Beauty for 12 years, that business is certainly resourced and has a leadership team there on a day-to-day basis that leads the charge. And we're really fortunate with our retail partner relationships and the connectivity there to be able to respond very rapidly to those asks. So it was a good year, to Ed's point, which was strangely within like a 4-week period of time, the ability to bring vendors together, to bring components together, and the needs that the consumer was asking for, and be very responsive.
Sarah, same question to you, and I know that you've got a very innovative digital solutions, maybe a technology company, but really a technology company with edge in terms of how humans can react to the solution that you provide. Same question in terms of how you took the eye of the storm, either through the demands that were placed on you in terms of what your customers wanted, but how you kind of took that from a business perspective, and what value or opportunities that you saw that you're experiencing.
Yeah, I think to come back to Ed's point on digital product development, we saw such an increased demand immediately, which is in part a good thing, but it also becomes quite a challenge because it is a human capital challenge at this point where, we really do need to make sure that we can retain the talent. So for us, it's about doubling down on purpose and on culture. And for me, that became a clearer view of what we need to do, which is to really invent future systems with innovative ideas, not just be in a more reactive state to what an RFP or a client ask might be, but to really invent the future state of a post-COVID world. And in a space where retail is needing reinvention, this is something that we really put more emphasis and thought around. How do we create new consumer engagement models and ecosystems that might not have otherwise existed? And it really kind of forced ingenuity in a new way to use our creativity and our technological prowess and invent these new systems. But I think coming back also for a minute to the greater good purpose that we serve at Left Field, which is so important because this is really, I think, what attracts people. If we have a really strong conviction in our purpose being greater good, we're here to really achieve positive impact and elevate the human experience. It gives others that same shared purpose and attracts so many high talented individuals, and the retention is unbelievable. So for us, it's really focusing on the quality in terms of the workplace, our company values, and making sure that we really do adhere to our North Star.
So I'll ask you a very simple last question for all of the three panelists. So if I may, we've talked about talent, which is a significant component of every business, and how we manage talent, how we acquire talent, retain talent is important, how we potentially take advantage of growth. The third element of certain disruptions that we've seen is whether it's supply chain, industry changing, consumer demands changing. So it's a broad question. So I know that you'll answer as it's relevant to you, but maybe Ed, throw that to you in terms of whether it's supply chain, structural changes, or operational changes. By maybe one example, if you can talk about what companies are doing to get ahead or pivot their business model or their operations to take advantage or to counter some of the challenges that they're facing.
Yes, Anand. Well, supply chain is a major issue, as we've seen all throughout COVID and currently, where our clients, many of them, are still experiencing these challenges. Look, it's unrealistic to think we will not need suppliers in Asia. The supply chains in Asia are very well established. They have significant competitive advantages and benefits. And furthermore, supply chains are really interdependent. Even if you use a domestic manufacturer, that manufacturer may use components from Asia, so you're always dependent. It's an interdependent global economy. The best practices that we've seen in our clients are those where you bring in-house the most critical components or processes. You bring them in-house or you bring them in the US and use redundant third parties for less critical processes or parts. frankly, one of the things that we're seeing our clients experience is if they're able to get their suppliers in Asia ship products to the US, sometimes those products get stuck in route. I mean, the logistics has become a big showstopper here, because just because you produce the product, it doesn't mean you can get it on the retailer shelves in the US. So transportation and logistics and delivery is the other big problem. That's why having local domestic supply chains is beneficial.
Tracy, I'm sure you've faced challenges, right? Whether it's supply chain, consumer demands, consumer behavior, and so forth. Maybe add a few additional words to what Ed was talking about that impacted your organization.
Yeah, I mean, what Ed's saying is not only accurate as a supplier to retail. The fact is a lot of our products, either components or boxes or there's something thereof, comes from Asia. Ports are closing and then reopening, and it is impacting cash flow and it impacts delivery schedule. And I think, if I were advising myself a year ago, and again now to any entrepreneur, it's to really bake in probably 3 to 6 additional weeks between what we used to use as our timeline and the realistic timeline, if there are delivery dates that have to be made. Second thing is to preserve cash, because even though it leaves the factory, it may get to the port and then get stuck for 4 to 6 weeks. So your cash is tied up in goods that you can't move. Certainly keeping connected to the retailers and ensuring that there's line of sight and horizon on what the demands of the consumer are, so that you're not building too much inventory. Last year, we bought a company called Trendalytics, which allows us to look at the trends of consumers on immediate real-time basis so that we can make decisions about product pipeline, inventory purchasing, et cetera. That was a very helpful decision for us in terms of managing supply chain. And then to Sarah's point, I think incorporating all of those conversations to the culture and to the team to make sure that there's a lot of transparency and communication is super important to be successful right now.
Thank you, Tracy. Sarah, obviously supply chain has impacted a lot of your clients because you sell great products to some great brands, household names. Either that or how you've taken opportunity in terms of what you do, maybe talk about elements that have actually allowed you to pivot either operationally or bring in new innovative solutions to consumer demands.
Yeah, I think that the type of services, while they don't fundamentally shift for us, we had in the past done more physical events, and that of course dried up completely. So the pivot to offering digital executions became something we were able to do. Thinking about online training, we had a great initiative at the very beginning of the pandemic to build a DEI leadership training initiative. And I think that wouldn't have really existed in an online format in the way that we were able to execute. So suddenly it created this opportunity for us to rethink how we learn, how we create effective empathy. And we're starting to see these, like I was speaking about earlier, these other forms of connecting and learning from one another. When we can build that, we create this feedback loop. When that empathy happens, then we have a greater sense of where each of us are coming from, and we tend to we stay at a company longer. So I know I'm answering in a slightly different way, but it's all part of addressing this human capital need, which in our world is directly tied to the supply chain issue and the increased demand for digital services.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we have a clock and we have time constraints. I could speak to all three of you for hours. So appreciate all three of you, your time and your words of wisdom. I'm now going to pass it on to Lilith, who's going to take us to the next part of the program.
Thank you, Anant. We're going to begin by recognizing our CEO and CFO honorees. We'll present 8 awards in the following categories. For our CEO finalists, we have public company, small private company, mid-sized private company, and finally, large private company. And for our CFO finalists, we have public company, small private company, and mid-sized and large-sized private company. And we also have a category for CEOs and CFOs who work in the education and or nonprofit. Identifying our winners was no easy task, as you are all talented and accomplished individuals who provide unique guidance to your organization. Our advisory committee took many things into consideration, including length of time the individual has been in the organization, overall body of work and impact they've made compared to their peer groups, leadership in terms of both social and economic impact, guidance in work culture and impact within the organization, adaptability during unprecedented times, involvement in industry groups and in the community, as well as work and home life balance. One final note before we get into the ceremony, I want to remind finalists that if you are the honoree in your category, you should be prepared to speak on camera for about 45 seconds. I'm excited to begin by recognizing CEO Excellence in the public company category. The finalists are Anthony Chow, CEO of NEWEGG Commerce Inc., Bonita Bonnie Lee, CEO of Hanmi Financial Corp., Ed Bagdasarian, CEO of Intrepid Investment Bankers, Lev Peker, CEO of CarParts.com, and Greg Sibley, President and Head of Regional Banking at Union Bank. And the honoree is Anthony Chow. Anthony Chow is the Global Chief Executive Officer of NEWEGG Commerce, where he sets the company's strategic direction and ensures consistent execution across the organization. Within 2 years of Anthony's leadership, NEWEGG underwent a financial turnaround that culminated in its listing on NASDAQ in May 2021. He unified the company's vendor direct and marketplace sales models and fostered a streamlined, domain-driven organizational structure that optimized for modern, scalable e-commerce operations. Providing e-commerce services to online sellers has fueled NEWEGG's latest growth opportunity. With the launch of NEWEGG Partner Services, NEWEGG diversified, offering a wide variety of support businesses that help other companies step into the world of e-commerce faster and more efficiently. Congratulations, Anthony.
Thank you so much. Well, thank you very much. I'm very excited. I'm humbled to be a recipient of this year's CEO Leadership Award. And many thanks to LA Times B2B Publishing and selection of the committee for this honor. So this award is not just about me. It is recognition of the exceptional dedication and the amazing work of our entire team in achieving excellence in what we have been doing. So since NEWEGG founding 2001, we have been committed to providing high quality products and services for our customers, suppliers, and partners through state-of-the-art network technologies. Today, we have embarked on business and organization transformation to become a global e-commerce powerhouse and dominant players in a large vertical niche market. Lastly, I would like to take the opportunity to extend my heartfelt congratulations to the other candidates, and I commend them on the leadership they demonstrated within their companies and throughout the greater Los Angeles business community. Thank you all.
Now we will present the small private company category with up to 50 employees. This year finalists are Deanne Ackerson, co-founder and CEO of Kindred Bravely, Tony Ko, CEO of Bespoke Beauty Brands, Wayne Lee, President and CEO of PowerTech, Daniel Rosen, CEO of Credit Repair Cloud, and Shant Vartanian, CEO of M Theory Consulting Group. Please join me in congratulating the 2021 honoree in the small private company category, Shant Vartanian. Shant Vartanian has 18 years of industry and management experience and is the founder and chairman of Singularity Ventures, the M Theory group of companies. M Theory delivers technology solutions that serve an array of finance, IT, healthcare, venture community, manufacturing, entertainment, legal, gaming, and telecommunications industries. He has served as CEO for 11 years and has developed nearly $200 million in opportunities over the last 15 years. As Chief Strategy Officer, Vartanian brings extensive operational experience and strong business acumen and provides keen insights to new and upcoming technologies. Congratulations, John.
Well, I'm honored. This is amazing. I was very surprised with this result. Just want to say a couple of quick words. This award does really reflect our team, their hard dedication to delivering valued services to businesses across the country. It is an amazing opportunity to work with them and lead them. And I am humbled and I'm honored. And I'm also humbled to be part of the team of nominees here. So thank you so much. And also I got to meet Lily on this one. So Lily, it was great to meet you in this process. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Sean. Congratulations. Now I'm going to hand off the next part of our ceremony to Anna Maxeri.
Thank you, Lily,
Anna?
and congratulations to the honorees. Next is the award for CEOs in a mid-sized private company ranging from 51 to 500 employees. The finalists are David Gasparian, President and CEO of Finexa, Jessica Hawthorne-CASTRO, CEO, Hawthorne Advertising, Brad Hively from CEO, the Oncology Institute of Hope and Innovation, Jason Nazar, co-founder and CEO of Comparably, Robert Westfall, President, Solitude International and Solitude Home Franchising. And the honoree for the mid-size private company category is Jessica Hawthorne-CASTRO of Hawthorne Advertising. Jessica is the owner and CEO and chairman of Hawthorne Advertising, an independent, full-service, creative, analytics, and technology-driven advertising agency based in Los Angeles. Committed to providing data-driven solutions and proprietary tools to help clients maximize advertising dollars, Hawthorne-CASTRO ensures quality innovation through all disciplines of the agency. Hawthorne Advertising is a certified woman-owned business recognized as a great place to work and is on the Inc. 5,000 list of fastest growing companies. Hawthorne-CASTRO is currently the chapter chair for YPO Los Angeles and serves in the YPO Pacific U.S. Regional Executive Board. In addition to her work with Dignity Moves, a task force of business leaders helping to move individuals out of homelessness and into brighter futures in their communities. Congratulations, Jessica.
I'm incredibly honored and slightly overwhelmed, I must say, to receive this honor among such a distinguished group of CEOs and actually, a lot of friends at the table here. And also, Tracy, thanks for your panel insights and all of you. So Hawthorne, we just wrapped up celebrating our 35th anniversary and parties across the country yesterday in our various offices. So it's been a great honor to serve so many of our clients and our employees over the last 35 years. We really endeavored to help people grow personally and professionally. And as a full service accountable advertising agency, we help all of our clients grow their brands with profitable and attributable ROI. So again, thank you for this honor and really honored to be part of the Los Angeles community as well. Thank you.
Our next award is in the large private company category with 501 plus employees. The finalists are Nandita Bakshi, President and CEO of Bank of the West, Reynolds Bish, CEO of Kovacs, Kelly Coffey, CEO of City National Bank, Castulo De La Rocha, President and CEO of Ultimate Health Services, and Prem Reddy, Chairman, President, and CEO of Prime Healthcare. This year's honoree in the large private company category is Kelly Coffey, CEO of City National Bank, a subsidiary of the Royal Bank of Canada. Kelly couldn't be here today with us, but we are glad and able to recognize her and all of her great accomplishments. She is the fourth CEO in City National Bank's 67-year history. Coffey was recognized as the 2021 Diversity, Inclusion, and Equity CEO of the Year by the Los Angeles Business Journal. She's been named in America Banker's list of most powerful women in banking and most powerful women in finance, and Los Angeles Business Journal's annual list of the most influential Angelinos. Coffey serves on the board of directors of SNAP Inc., the Leadership Council of U.S. Vets, and the board of the Central Park Conservancy. She's the chair of the board of trustees for the Marymount School of New York. Congratulations, Kelly. Now allow me to bring back Ed Badgazarian to introduce the next two award categories. Ed?
Thank you, Anna. I'm excited to present the next category recognizing CFOs in public companies. The finalists are Sue Collins, President and CFO, Beachbody; Felicia De La Fortuna, CFO, BuzzFeed; Giles Harrison, CFO, Farmers Insurance; Lauren Silvernail, CFO and EVP Corporate Development, Evolus; Judd Turnauer, Executive Vice President and CFO, California Pizza Kitchen. And the award for public company goes to Judd Turnauer of California Pizza Kitchen. Judd has over 25 years of progressive finance and strategic planning experience in the restaurant and retail industries, having worked for Black Angus, Real Mex Restaurants, and Wet Seal, among others, before joining CPK in late 2020. He's skilled in business planning, analytics, management, leadership, and business process improvement, and is focused on CPK's financial restructuring strategy as well as the company's new growth opportunities. He oversees the accounting and finance teams for the iconic CPK brand, which has more than 200 restaurants in 8 countries and U.S. territories. Congratulations, Judd.
Thank you. And thanks to the LA Times B2B. I'm honored to be among the nominees. Congratulations to my fellow nominees as well. This award really goes to the CPK team, both the corporate management team as well as the thousands of team members nationwide. During this very, very difficult time, our industry was highly impacted, as was our company, going through a restructuring during the pandemic, and to come out on the other side healthy and really looking to grow is really a testament to a great team. So thank you very much.
Congratulations, Judd. So our next award recognizes CFOs in small private companies earning up to $50 million in annual revenue. The finalists are Mo Abufaris, CFO, California University of Science and Medicine; Matt DUNAJ, CFO, Earth Island; Mami Funahashi, CFO, Community Partners; Janet Moss, CFO, Hollywood Bed and Spring Manufacturing Company; and Kevin Trosian, CFO, 3PL Central. And the honoree for small private company is Matt DUNAJ from Earth Island. As the CFO of Earth Island, the pioneering solar-powered manufacturer of Follow Your Heart brand products, which includes Veganese egg-free mayo, plant-based cheese alternatives, and Veganese egg replacer, Matt has supported substantial growth of the company. A graduate of UC Santa Barbara, Matt began his career at KPMG in New York City before joining Earth Island in 2013. During his tenure, the company has grown from 80 to 250 employees. The footprint has increased from 40,000 to 150,000 square feet. And these many successes led to the acquisition of Earth Island by Danone in early 2021. Matt continues to build for the future, innovating plant-based food options that are better for health, better for animals, and better for the world. Congratulations, Matt.
Thank you so much. This is a huge honor, and I also want to congratulate everyone else who is nominated. I'm so impressed with everything that you've all accomplished and what you've done for your businesses over the last year. Follow Your Heart was started by 4 hippies in 1970 who really had a pioneering vision about providing foods that were better for people, better for the environment, and better for animals. And we've continued that mission over the last 50 years, which really culminated this year with the transaction with Danone, the global manufacturing company who owns other brands such as Silk Soy Milk, Evian Water, So Delicious Frozen, and other iconic brands. So it's a real honor for Follow Your Heart to be a member of the Danone family, to continue to build for that future, and to hold that vision of a more sustainable world. So thank you to all of my team at Earth Island Follow Your Heart, and thank you to the LA Times for this recognition.
Congratulations again, Matt. Now I'd like to invite SATPAL and NAGPAL to present the final 2 award categories.
Thank you, Ed. Next up is a category recognizing CFOs of large private companies of over $50 million in annual revenue. The finalists are Jackie Davis, CFO 24-Hour Home Care, Gary Hsu, CFO Grindr, Lina O'Connor, President and CFO Tender Greens, Olivia Teru, CFO Quixote Studios, Darren Walters, Burke Williams Day Spas. And this year's honoree in the large private company category is Lina O'Connor of Tender Greens. Lina O'Connor is President and CFO of Tender Greens and is responsible for managing the company's financial performance and growth. Coming up through the ranks, Lina helped build the infrastructure of Tender Greens' home office and wore many hats, including human resources and marketing. She helped establish partnerships with local farmers to use sustainably raised ingredients. In 2015, Lina spearheaded its partnership with renowned restaurant collective Union Hospitality Group and Alliance Consumer Growth. Lina is passionate about giving back to the community and was an integral part in the launch of the Sustainable Life Project, a program that helps at-risk youth cultivate their culinary art skills and join the workforce. Congratulations, Lina.
Hi, thank you so much, SATPAL and Tom Berry and GHG for being such great partners for us over the past decade. And as a native Angelino, thank you to the LA Times. Really appreciate the honor. This award goes to the team of Tender Greens, who's been alongside me all of these years. And as we just announced 2 days ago, Tender Greens has come together with Takaya Modern Mexican to form One Table Restaurant Brands. So now I share this award with Tender Greens and Takaya and the whole broader One Table Restaurant Brands team. So thank you very much for the recognition. It's an honor and a privilege.
Thank you, Lina. 2 of my favorite restaurant brands coming together. That's so exciting. I'm hungry now. Our final category recognizes both CEOs and CFOs in the education and or nonprofit sector. The finalists are Oriya Abbasi, CEO, Associated Students, UCLA, Teresa Campbell, President and CEO, San Diego County Credit Union, Colin Donahue, Vice President, Administration and Finance and CFO, California State University, Northridge, and Faye Washington, President and CEO, YWCA Greater Los Angeles. And the award in the education and nonprofit category goes to none other than Faye Washington of YWCA Los Angeles. As President and CEO of the YWCA Greater Los Angeles, Faye Washington is a rainmaker in the nonprofit world. Her 32-year government record of management, personnel administration, legislative and budget policy management, strategic planning and implementation of budgets over $3 billion created the landscape for a groundbreaking tenure of leading the YWCA GLA in its mission of eliminating racism and empowering women. During Faye's tenure, she has successfully led the development of 4 community facilities that provide much needed services to at-risk areas throughout Greater Los Angeles. Faye has become known as a game changer, ushering innovative strategies that have garnered the adulation of local and federal policymakers. Congratulations, Faye.
Thank you, SATPAL. This is, it's overwhelming. It's certainly a surprise, but it's a testimony for this period in time of our organization. I just want to start by saying thank you, LA Times. Thank you, SATPAL, and everyone else who had any hand in making this all happen. And I also want to congratulate my fellow nominees, because it takes all of us moving forward to make this world a better place. Well, my soul has been really touched over this past year, and it's largely been touched because we pulled ourselves together, we, the YWCA of Greater LA, to deliver a higher level of services that we didn't even know we could. We designed on the fly and we delivered so that others might have some modicum piece of life. And we did it. And we're still doing it. And all of this is a testimony that when staff gets together, you have a team, and your team extends to your board, your team extends to other partners in the community that you knew not, and you're able to produce a product that really, truly does uplift everyone. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. This will serve as a beacon for us to achieve even higher and better resources. Thank you.
Thank you, Faye, and congratulations to all the winners and all the nominees for showing exemplary leadership, and especially in this last year. It's been a pleasure to be part of this program. Now I'll hand it back to our LA Times host, Anna Magzanian. Thank you, Anna.
Congratulations again to our honorees and finalists. It has been a pleasure to celebrate your essential role in the California business community. I'd also like to thank our sponsors for making this event possible: Finexa, GHJ, and Intrepid Investment Bankers. And a special thanks to my award presenters, Lilith Davidian from Finexa, SATPAL NAGPAL from GHJ, and Ed Bagdasarian from Intrepid Investment Bankers. Please remember to check out the C-Suite Trends, Updates, and Visionaries magazine featuring our honorees and finalists. You'll be able to find that issue starting September 12th on LA Times B2B Publishing webpage. And look there for videos of today's event as well. Thank you all for joining us, and have a great rest of your day.